Welcome to Holidays at Crystal's Party Shop. Today we're going to make some pecan pies. My husband's watching the Michigan and Ohio State game. He's going to make some potato soup. We got some fresh pumpernickel bread from Publix last night, and we're going to go get our Christmas tree. So if you would like to see, just continue watching. holidays at Crystal's Body Shop. My husband and I are gonna make potato soup for tonight's dinner. So we have our ingredients ready. We have heavy whipping cream, flour, green onions, Colby Jack shredded cheese, butter, chicken broth, potatoes, onions, salt and pepper, a pack of bacon that we're gonna cook and crumble up after it's done and put in our soup, and our fresh pumpernickel bread. And as well, line your cookie sheet with foil for easy cleanup.
I peeled most of the potatoes already, just to give you guys an idea of how fast we are, to give you time to prep the potatoes, because potato peeling is a pain in the butt. Of course, I know it. I've been cooking potatoes a long time, so now we just start chopping up our potatoes. Got nice little cubes, little sections. So now I got the potatoes done. I got the 58 ounces, which would be 4 cans of chicken broth going with 2 cups of water, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of pepper, and I'm getting ready to cut the onions and to dice the onions up, and you throw it in there and you let it simmer for 20 minutes. So now we got the simmering, we got the chicken broth simmering. I'm getting ready to throw the bacon in. I like to set the oven at 400 degrees and initially set the timer at 10 minutes on each side. Cook your bacon the way you want it. We like our bacon crispy but not overcooked. Some people like theirs a little fattier, some people like theirs a little more crispier. It's all preference. So I set it initially at 400 and line the cookie sheet with a piece of foil, as you see here. I spray it down to kind of so it don't stick as much. Usually makes it easier to clean up, but not all the time. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But good luck with the bacon part. That's the way we like the bacon. So now we got the chicken broth still simmering like we want. I got my bacon in the oven. We just started it, got it in the oven, getting ready to cook up. Now I got 3/4 cup of flour, and 2 cups of butter, which is 2 sticks. What we're gonna do is we're gonna heat up a little pot on the stove, which you see over there. We're gonna melt down the butter, add the flour, mix it together. After it's melted down, we slowly add it to the chicken broth to slowly thicken up a little bit at a time when it work itself way up to thicken. If anyone knows, like making a gravy at home, the same thing with the flour. It makes it thick as you cook slowly, but if you add it too fast, it might overgo. So it's kind of a look and feel kind of when you're making this part of the recipe. As you can see, we got the butter slowly melting because I had to start preheating the stove top a little bit to help the butter melt faster. As it melts down, I will slowly add the flour to mix it together with a whisk. Alright, so now we got the butter melted. I added the flour to it. It's got a little bit of a thickness. Now we're going to slowly add it into our simmering chicken broth, slowly, a little bit at a time. And we're going to whisk it in. We're going to slowly just whisk it in and work it in. As you're whisking, it's going to slowly start thickening up over time. You don't want to add too much right away. You want to see how thick it's going to get. Right, so now I got all the flour and the butter mixture in here. I've been whisking it and whisking it. Now we're going to add 1.5 cups of heavy cream slowly to help thicken this. So we're going to slowly add it. I'm going to continue whisking. This is what supposedly is supposed to help thicken it. And whisk it together just like this. I make homemade gravy this way too when I use chicken broth with flour. Or beef broth, depending on what kind of meat we're having for that night. Whether it be a roast or if it be chicken. If I want to make a gravy, this is how I do it, with flour and this broth. So now we got about 20 minutes. I've been letting that simmer with the cream, with everything, with the flour and the mixture. Now I'm going to add these potatoes in, and we're going to let them cook down, and they're pretty much done. We just add the potatoes in, I mix it in, let it cook like that for a little bit. Now it's up to you guys how you want to do it, because I'm going to show you how to our bacon turned out, how we like our bacon. So I added the potatoes in here. Now I'm going to stir it up and let that just kind of keep simmering. And it's all preference if you want to add bacon like this. Yeah, this is how we like our bacon preferably. Some people like it crispier, some like it fatter, but I will break this down and try to take as much grease off with another paper towel on top as possible. Some people want to add it, some don't. It's totally preference. I like to add it because it gives a little extra more flavor inside the soup as you let it simmer a little more. Bacon done. Now I like to put it in here just like this. I bust it up and just slide it on down on the plate. I don't like getting the grease on my hands, so that's why I had a pair of gloves on. I just don't like the grease. So I slide it in there. And just mix the bacon up with the potato soup. I'm gonna let that cook down a little bit longer, let that meat kind of adjust to it and get some flavoring in there. So now the soup's pretty much done. We got our fresh chives, so I'm going to chop up, and then you can use the garnish if you want. Some people like chives, some don't. So I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to chop up our chives. This is our potato soup garnished with chives, Colby Jack cheese, and a side of pumpernickel bread. Hope you enjoy.